Manchester United 4, Athletic Club 1, and we are through, thankfully, safely into the Europa League final. And what a match. What a performance by the players, it has to be said. But I'm going to have to say the first 10 minutes we did start quite poorly in the first half. And, but I will talk about that in a little while. The first up, the starting lineup, I was pretty happy with the starting lineup. The only change that I would have made was that I would have started Ahmad ahead of Lindelof and then played a back three of Mazraoui, Maguire and Euro. But Ruben Amorim decided to field Lindelof, Maguire, Euro, Mazraoui, Casemiro, Ugarte, Dogu, Garnacho and Bruno, and then Hojlund up front. So obviously the only change from my lineup that I would have gone for in my preview was that I had Ahmad starting ahead of Lindelof. But in terms of the first half, I'll be honest, I thought we started poorly. I thought we were very lucky to be in the first 10 minutes not to be 1-0 down. Garnacho does get a chance in the 16th minute to basically almost score. Played in by a first time through ball by Bruno. Garnacho can't fully control the ball on the edge of Athletic's box before keeper Jauregizar sprints off his line to make a smothering save. And if Garnacho is through on goal, he almost scores there. It's almost a certain goal. There is a penalty check in the 23rd minute. After being leaned on by Jauregizar in the box before the pair tango legs, Dogu crashes down to the turf. He appeals for a spot kick, immediately turned away by the referee, but it takes a minute-long VAR check to confirm that call beyond doubt, and it's no penalty. Unfortunately, in the 31st minute, Athletic do make it 1-0 through Gary Jauregizar. After Dejalo's attempt is blocked on the edge of the box, the ball falls nicely to Jauregizar. After opening up his body to shoot, he whips a superb finish past the despering Onana to make it 1-0 to Athletic Club on the night and 3-1 to Manchester United on aggregate. And then in the first half, Garnacho is played through on goal by Dogu, but he fails to hit the target. This is in the 43rd minute. He absolutely has to score there to make it 1-1. And overall, has to be said, the first half I thought we were poor. I think we were lucky just to be going down 1-0 at half time. I think it could have been maybe 2-0 to Athletic Club, but thankfully it was only 1. And in terms of first half XG, Manchester United actually led the XG 0.75 to Athletics 0.2. And then in the second half, it doesn't get any better as well. It's a poor start to the second half as well. Athletic had complete control in the first 15-20 minutes, I'd say, and we didn't really have a sniff up until Ruben Amorim decided to make some substitutions, which, in my opinion, completely changed the game. Mazraoui, Ugarte and Garnacho all went off for Shaw, Mount and Ahmad, and straight away, obviously you had Bruno and Ugarte going into the double pivot with Ahmad and Mount in the 10 positions, and Ahmad and Mount in the 10 positions completely changed the game, it has to be said. Shaw went to left wing back and Dogu went to right wing back, and after the subs, we saw Dogu and Ahmad link up really well, which led to an Ahmad shot shortly after the substitutions came on. But Mount the substitute, he makes it 1-1 in the 72nd minute. Euro drops his shoulder and prods a short pass through to Mount, who then turns and stays a curling shot into the right hand side of the net. It's an excellent finish by the substitute. Casemiro then makes it 2-1. Man United win a free kick on the right hand side on the right hand side by a foul from Berenga, I think. Bruno whips it into the box and Casemiro glances it into the back of the net by his shoulder, and then Man United make a couple more substitutions to see out the game. Casemiro and Lindelof do go off for Menu and Amas, and then Hojlund then makes it 3-1. Ahmad is allowed to advance to the right byline before cutting back the ball for Hojlund just a couple yards out. The goal shy striker can hardly miss, and Hojlund makes it 3-1. And then finally, Mount makes it 4-1. Mount completely changed the game when he came on, it has to be said. And I had my reservations with regards to Mason Mount, but he is coming up trumps in this game. Probably his best performance in the Man United shirt, it has to be said. The keeper comes out, Jauregizar, comes out as a sweeper keeper to clear the ball, but his clearance lands straight to the foot of Mount. Mount controls it, and then he hits it first time with his left foot from near the halfway line, and it goes into the back of the net to make it 4-1. And that's game, set, match. And what a match, what what a second half performance. Has to be said, we were poor in the first half, you know. I think we were lucky not to be going down further. We were lucky not to be going down 2-0 in the first half. But the second half performance, the second half substitutions definitely made a really big impact on the game. And Ruben Amorim has earned his money there with the substitution. So let's get into the player ratings, because I don't really remember too many chances that we had on target. I think it was pretty much an even game up until the last flurry of goals that we had. Hojlund, Mount scores in the 72nd minute. Casemiro scores in the 80th minute. Hojlund scores in the 85th minute, and then Mount scores again in the 91st minute, or the 1 minute of injury time at the end of the second half. So that was what, 3 goals in 11 minutes. But in terms of shots, you know, in the whole match we had 11 shots, and 5 of them were on target, and 4 of them were goals. So I think we did show how clinical we can be in front of goal, and that's what needs to be done. I think we need to be more clinical in front of goal. But yeah, let's get into the player ratings, and then what we'll do is we'll get into some stats, and then we'll head off. So Andre Onana here, he's got a 6.1 rating, 90 minutes played, accurate passes 13 out of 29, 45%, accurate long balls only 5 out of 21. Could be doing a little bit better there, but in terms of saves, he didn't really have to make any saves of note. Maybe just this one in the 31st minute, but all the other saves were quite routine. He didn't really have to kind of stretch, you know, he wasn't really troubled, apart from that goal by Jauregizar, you know, the first goal, of course, of the match. Athletic scored. I think he got his fingertips to it, but there was nothing really he could be doing about that shot. So recoveries 5, high claim 1, throws 3, you know, he couldn't have done anything about the goal he conceded. So yeah. Next up, Lindelof. I thought he was okay as well. He could have done a little bit better. 89% pass accuracy, 39 out of 44. Duels, he's won 2 out of 3, which is okay again. So he is winning the majority of his duels, but he had an okay game as well. Maguire, I thought he had a decent game. He won the majority of his duels. He's won 5 out of 6 of his duels, and he was really commanding at the back there, holding down that spot. And he, you know, accurate passes, he could be doing a little bit better there. 25 out of 38 accurate passes, and in terms of his long balls, only 2 out of 7 completed. And I think he needs to be doing a little bit better with his long balls. But in terms of the defense, we weren't really troubled too much, it has to be said. Athletic Club didn't really pose too much of an attacking threat, especially in the second half. First half, yes, they did kind of they did have a couple of chances. Euro, he's gone 8.1 here. He comes away with 1 assist for that Mason Mount goal, the first one that Mount scored. 38 out of 44 accurate passes. In terms of his duels, he's won 10 out of 14, so he's getting stuck in there, winning the majority of his duels. I think he had a good performance, Lenny Euro, and again, he's only 19, but he doesn't look out of place. He looks like as if he's been playing for Man United for years, and he's not really looked out of place since he's come in. You know, so he had a really good performance there, winning the majority of his duels. I'm really impressed by Lenny Euro so far this season. Mazraoui lasted 62 minutes, 6.9 here. He was okay. I don't think he had too great of a game. Going forward, he was a little bit poor. He picked up a yellow card as well for a cynical foul. 24 out of 27 accurate passes, 89%. And then in terms of his duels, he's won 3 out of 4, which is okay. Again, steady performance. Casemiro, again, he's getting stuck in there. He won the most tackles of the match, and he won the most duels of the match as well. 81 minutes played. He comes away with the goal. This goal in the 79th minute to make it 2-1. It does come off his shoulder, but it is what it is. It doesn't matter how they go in, as long as they go in. So it comes off his shoulder. Set piece goal from Bruno Fernandes, whipping in a free kick, and then Casemiro gets on the end of it. In terms of his tackles, he's won 6 out of 7 tackles, 2 out of 3 accurate long balls, which is okay. Didn't get dispossessed whatsoever. 71 touches, which he's getting about the place. You know, he's rolling back the years. He's showing that prime Real Madrid Casemiro, the one with 5 Champions League titles. You know, if he puts in a performance like that in the Europa League final, then he's going to be playing Champions League football next season, and Manchester United are going to be playing Champions League football next season. In terms of his duels, he's won 12 out of 18. Again, he's getting stuck in there, winning the majority of his duels. I've really been impressed by Casemiro this match. Ugarte, I'll be honest, I wasn't too impressed by Ugarte. I thought he had a little bit of a poor game. I say he's come away with a 7.2 rating here, 22 out of 33 accurate passes, 67%. In terms of his duels, he's won 7 out of 10, which is okay. He's won the majority of his duels, but I think he can be doing a little bit better, especially in possession. I'm not happy with Manuel Ugarte in terms of his on the ball capability. He looks a little bit anxious in possession, it has to be said. He's not really giving me the confidence, that you need to have a Man United central midfielder on the ball. Casemiro, on the other hand, shows a lot of confidence on the ball. He can receive the ball under pressure, whereas Ugarte doesn't really show me that, in my opinion. But yeah, again, he's got a 7.2, so he's all right. Dogu, again, he was okay as well. He did have this one shot which was saved in the 84th minute, which was a routine save, but he was okay getting down that wing. I think that I think the jury's still out on him a little bit. I personally would have preferred if we went for someone like Aït-Nouri, or we got Alvaro Fernandez back from Benfica, but because I think Alvaro Fernandez and Aït-Nouri show more attacking output, and when you're on that wing, you have to, when you're playing wing back anyway, you have to show a lot more attacking output, and you need to show a more attacking quality in the final third. And even though defensively Dogu has been okay in my opinion, but going forward he lacks that quality in the final third. 30 out of 38 accurate passes, 79%. Joules, he's won 10 out of 19. Maybe I think he needs to be doing better with his joules. But yeah, in terms of Garnacho, I thought he was poor. He didn't really get into the game too much. He had 2 chances in the first half which he scuffed. This shot here in the 43rd minute, it was a fast break. He got played in by Dogu, if I'm not mistaken, and then he fails to hit the target there. He needs to hit the target. If he hits the target, because the keepers come out, if he hits the target, then it's a goal, and we go into halftime 1-1. So yeah, I thought Garnacho had a poor game. 2 out of 4, Joules 1. And then Bruno Fernandes, I thought he had an okay game. He did get he comes away well with 1 assist for that free kick, and then 2 shots as well. 40 out of 53 accurate passes, 3 chances created, 0 out of 2 of his shots were on target, so 2 block shots. 72 touches, so he is getting about the place. Only 1 touch in the opposition box, and since he's playing in the front 3, I think that's not really too good enough. He's got 45. He's played about 60 minutes, I think, as one of the 10s, and he's only had 1 touch in the box. Whereas he needs to be doing a little bit better. Successful dribbles 1 out of 1, and then accurate long ball 6 out of 10, which is okay. Accurate passes as well 2 out of 2, but tackles only won 4 out of 4, which is decent. Joules, he's won 11 out of 16 as well, which is really, really good in my opinion. Hojlund does come away with a goal as well, and look how scored. He's really basically just outside the goal line, to put in that empty net for that fast break that Ahmad squares it to him, and then he puts it into the empty net. But Hojlund, I think he put in an unselfish performance as well. 18 out of 24 accurate passes, 75%. Joules, he's won 3 out of 6 as well, which is not. You think he needs to be doing better with his joules, needs to be winning the majority of his joules. But yeah, let's get into the substitutes, and the substitutions really did change the game. I think Luke Shaw came on, and he had a positive impact on the game as well. He was linking up well down that left side. I think he went into the left wing back position, and then Dogu went right wing back when they came on. So Luke Shaw had a decent game as well. 10 out of 12 accurate passes, 83%. Touches 20 as well. So tackles, he's won 1 of his tackles, and then Joules, he's won 1 out of 1. And then Mason Mount, of course, he comes away with man of the match. He scored 2 goals, and yeah, he was all over the place, has to be said, in a good way, that is. He scored in the 72nd minute, and then in the 90th minute he scores from way far out. I don't know, that's about 50 yards out or something. It's an open net because the keeper comes to clear the ball as a sweeper keeper, Jauregizar, but it goes straight to Mason Mount. He hits it with his left foot first time and then it sails into the back of the net to make it 4-1. What a goal that was. Accurate passes 12 out of 12, and then 2 out of 2 shots on target. He scored with both of his shots on target. Touches 19, touches in the opposition box 2 as well. Successful dribbles 1 out of 1. Tackles, he won 2 out of 3, and then Joules, he won 4 out of 6 as well. He really did change the game for Man United, in my opinion. And then another player that changed the game for United was Amad Diallo. Let's go to him right now. Amad Diallo, he comes away with a 7.6, comes away with a 1 assist as well, because he assisted for Hojlund. Really good work down that right wing. Down that right wing back position, and when he came on, instantly, I think Amad Diallo had an instant impact, down that right side, linking up with, I forgot who it was now, but he linked up really well. I think I forgot who it was with, but he was linking up really well down that right side when he came on. It might be with Dogu, I think, but he really did play. He really changed the game for United. He was a constant threat when he came on, and I was surprised that he didn't start. Personally, I would have started him. I wouldn't mind seeing like Mazraoui right centre back, and then Ahmad right You know, he came on in the number 10 position, so you know, I think Mazraoui in that right wing back position, then Ahmad in the inside 10 position. I think that would be a decent kind of recipe for success, but we'll see how in the upcoming matches what Ruben Amorim does decide to go for. But accurate passes 13 out of 16, 81%, and then three duels won, so he's won all of his duels as well. So that's decent performance by Amad Diallo. Harry Amas only lasted 9 minutes, not much can be said. 4 out of 6 accurate passes. He didn't win. He won one out of 2 of his duels, and then Kobe Mainoo also coming on for 9 minutes for Casemiro, who got a standing ovation again. Casemiro has played such a big part in our Europa League campaign, coming up with 2 assists, I think, against Lyon, and then scoring. I think he scored against Lyon as well. I think he did score against Lyon, and scoring in this match again. For Kobe Mainoo anyway, 8 out of 9 accurate passes, 89%, and he won all of his duels as well. So all in all, I think Mason Mount comes away with man of the match by scoring 2 goals, and the goals that he did score were really, really good goals. But I think Casemiro is a little bit unlucky as well, not to be coming away with also man of the match. He had a really, really good game as well in that centre of the pitch, and then Bruno Fernandes as well had a good game. So I think Mount, Casemiro and Bruno were probably our best players on the pitch, and personally I wouldn't mind seeing Bruno Fernandes alongside Casemiro in that double pivot in the final against Spurs, personally, because I don't think Ugarte offers too much on the ball, and I think Ugarte had a little bit of a poor game. But yeah, in terms of the final, of course we are up against Spurs. That's going to be a really, really big game. Unfortunately, Bodo Glimt couldn't get the job done against Spurs. Spurs do come away 2-0 winners against Bodo Glimt. So it's a final against Spurs on the 21st of May. And yeah, absolutely buzzing that we are through to the final of the Europa League. And has to be said, it's been a brilliant Europa League campaign. Now we just have to go on to win it. And hopefully we can. Hopefully we don't. I think we've got 3 games left in the league as well. So hopefully we can kind of pick up some more points in the league as well. And even though the league position doesn't really matter, absolutely buzzing that we are coming away with the win against Athletic Club. What performance, especially the second half. First half was poor, but yeah, now we have got a final against Spurs, and hopefully we can come away with the trophy and Champions League football next season. Be really important if we can secure that, especially you know, for the transfer window, and you know, obviously you want to be coming to a club, if you're a top player anyway, you want to be coming to a club that has Champions League football. So if we can win the Europa League final, if we can come home with the trophy, if we can beat Spurs, it's going to be such a it's going to be papering over the cracks a little bit, I'll be honest with you. But you know, that's what we do. This is our 3rd final in 3 years. We won the Carabao Cup under Erik ten Hag's first season, I think, and then FA Cup in the second season, and now we are in the final of the Europa League, and it's been a brilliant Europa League campaign. But all of it's going to mean nothing if we don't come away with the trophy. We absolutely have to win against Spurs. We can't let them get a trophy. I don't know when the last time Spurs won a trophy was, but we can't let them win. We have to win the Europa League final now. We have to go on to win it. Anyway, that's it from me. I've yapped on enough. If you enjoyed this preview, if you enjoyed this review, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.